The 2025-26 Champions League campaign is officially underway, and we've already witnessed some of the best football of the season. There are 36 teams taking part in the league phase campaign, and with each side playing 8 games in hopes of making it to the next round, the stakes are truly at an all-time high. Today we're taking a look at each game for Matchday 1 as we rank the matches that captured the essence of Champions League football, as well as the matches that didn't produce too much excitement. Matchday 1 in the Champions League was filled with some of the best games of the season, so let's go ahead and rank them all. The first match of the day saw Atletico taking on Arsenal in Bilbao, with a back-and-forth match that eventually ended in a 2-0 victory for the away side. The first half in this match saw chances going both ways, but neither side could find the clinical opportunity that would open up the game, as the match ran into halftime stuck at a 0-0 deadlock. Mikel Arteta's decision to bring on Gabriel Martinelli in the 71st minute would go on to pay dividends, with the Brazilian playmaker scoring a brilliant goal just 36 seconds after coming on. One more goal from Leandro Trossard in the 87th minute would wrap things up in this match, as Arsenal came away with a deserving 2-0 victory. It was a solid match from start to finish, but I was hoping to see a bit more of an offensive output from the home team in this game, and it felt a little lackluster at times. All things considered, this game was decent at best, so it'll have to settle for the C tier today. Moving on to the first shock result of the day, PSV and Union Saint-Gilloise went head-to-head in Eindhoven, and no one would have expected that the Belgian debutants would come away with a 3-1 victory. With Promise David's clinical penalty finish in the 9th minute, followed by Ait El Hadj's beautiful run and finish in the 39th minute, the visitors went into the halftime break with a shocking 2-0 lead. Two more goals from Kevin McAllister and Ruben van Bommel in the 81st and 90th minute would bring the game to its final 3-1 scoreline, with the Belgian visitors grabbing their first Champions League victory in their club history. This match was filled with twists and turns, with Union Saint-Gilloise playing like they had nothing to lose, while PSV looked dazed and confused the entire time. The Belgian supporters will be ecstatic following their team's inaugural victory, as this game goes into the B tier for now. The next match of the day saw Benfica taking on Qarabag in Lisbon, with the Azeri visitors grabbing a shocking 3-2 victory over the home side. The first 45 minutes saw 3 goals between the two sides, with a header from Barrenetxea in the 6th minute and a clinical strike from Pavlidis in the 16th minute, followed by a powerful strike from Andrade in the 30th minute for Qarabag. The away side went on to score in the 48th minute after a gorgeous play that was finished off by Duran, and with Kashchuk's winner in the 86th minute, the Azeri visitors held on for a 3-2 victory. It's almost impossible to believe that Qarabag were losing by 2 goals in the 16th minute and still managed to win this game, which makes their comeback even more impressive. A match that was highlighted by brilliance on the pitch and resilience in the mind, this game goes into the A tier for now. Moving on to the next match of the day, Juventus and Dortmund battled it out in Turin, with the most back-and-forth match we've seen in recent times ending in a 4-4 draw. The first half of the match didn't see any goals being scored, but with Dortmund controlling possession and dictating tempo, the German visitors went into the halftime break with most of the momentum. The constant pressure from the visitors would eventually cause the floodgates to open, and with Karim Adeyemi's goal in the 52nd minute, the match was now 1-0 in Dortmund's favor. However, a beautiful curling finish from Kenan Yildiz in the 64th minute would bring the game level at 1-1. The next 4 minutes saw Felix Metsä score a beautiful goal from outside the box in the 65th minute, followed by a crazy run and finish from Dusan Vlahovic in the 68th minute, bringing the game level at 2-2. At this point, I couldn't imagine this game getting any crazier than what I had already seen, but things were just starting to heat up at this point in time. 2 more goals from Jan Couto in the 74th minute and Ben Sebaini in the 86th minute were sure to put this game to rest, but the home side had other ideas. With the second goal from Vlahovic coming in the 94th minute, followed by Lloyd Kelly's equalizer in the 96th minute, Juventus somehow found a way to level the match at 4 goals each. I genuinely couldn't believe my eyes, and the fact that this match went into halftime at 0-0 and somehow ended 4-4 is something I still can't wrap my head around. This game was filled with drama, excitement, and goals galore, as it goes straight into the S tier today. The next match of the day was the highly anticipated game between Real Madrid and Marseille in the Spanish capital, which ended in a dramatic 2-1 victory for Los Blancos. The match got off to a very unfortunate start for the home side, with Trent Alexander-Arnold being replaced by Dani Carvajal in the 5th minute after suffering a muscular injury. The French visitors opened the scoring in the 22nd minute with a beautiful strike from Timothy Weah, but Kylian Mbappe's equalizer just 7 minutes later would bring the match to halftime stuck at 1-1. The second half saw Denny Carvajal get sent off after headbutting Marseille's goalkeeper in the 72nd minute, but with Mbappe's second penalty goal of the night coming in the 81st minute, the match ended as a 2-1 victory for the home side. Marseille did put up a good fight in this match to make it interesting, but scoring the first goal at the Bernabeu usually means a Real Madrid comeback no matter how well you play. This game had all the elements of an entertaining match as it finds itself in the B tier today. The final game that was played on Tuesday evening saw Tottenham going up against Villarreal in London, with the reigning Europa League champions holding on for a 1-0 victory. It took just 4 minutes for the home side to take the lead in this game, and with Luis Junior's embarrassing fumble in his own penalty box, the match went into halftime at 1-0 for Tottenham. The Spanish visitors were the more dominant side in the second half of this match, but with no real chances coming from either side in the final 45 minutes, the game ended as a 1-0 victory for Spurs. This match was honestly a snooze fest that didn't see much action after the first 5 minutes and was easily the least entertaining of the first 6 games. A known goal coming in the 4th minute isn't exactly cause for celebration, as this match goes into the F tier for now. The first game that took place on Wednesday evening saw Olympiacos going up against debutants Pafos FC in Piraeus, with the season's first 0-0 draw coming at the end of this match. The home side controlled possession for the first 45 minutes, but even with Bruno Felipe's red card coming in the 26th minute, the match was still stuck at a 0-0 deadlock going into the halftime break. The second half saw plenty of chances going Olympiacos' way, but even with Mehdi Taremi's red card being rescinded after a VAR check, the match ended in a 0-0 stalemate. Pafos earned their first ever points in the Champions League, but it really felt like the Greek champions could have and should have come away with a victory in this match. This game really didn't have too many moments to rave about, as it finds itself in the F tier today. The next match of the day saw Slavia Prague taking on debutants Bodo Glimt in the Czech capital, which produced a thrilling 2-2 draw at the end of 90 minutes. The opening goal in this match came from Youssoufa Mboji's tap-in goal in the 23rd minute, leaving the Norwegian visitors scrambling for an answer going into the halftime break. Bodo Glimt had a perfect opportunity to find the equalizer in the 54th minute, but with Kasper Hogg's penalty being saved by Slavia's Ginrek Stanek, the score remained stuck at 1-0 for the home side. Mboji's second goal of the night came in the 74th minute, and with a 2-0 lead, it felt as if Slavia were assured of a victory in this match. But after all, this is the Champions League, and it's never quite as straightforward as it may seem. Daniel Bassi went on to score Bodo Glimt's first ever Champions League goal in the 78th minute, and with a gorgeous first-time volley from Sondre Fett in stoppage time, the match ended in a thrilling 2-2 draw. The Norwegian debutants secured their first ever Champions League points in dramatic fashion as they continue to punch well above their weight in European football. This game was a true chess match that was captivating until the final whistle, as it finds itself in the A tier today. The next game on the schedule saw Ajax taking on Inter Milan in Amsterdam, with the Italian visitors dominating proceedings as they came away with a 2-0 win. It took 42 minutes and a rescinded penalty call for the Italian side to find the opening goal in this match, and with Marcus Thuram's pinpoint header finding the back of the net, the score was 1-0 for Inter at the halftime break. Marcus Thuram went on to score yet another blistering header in the 47th minute, and with 2 crucial goals from the star striker, Inter Milan came away with a 2-0 victory in this match. Ajax had a few decent chances in this game, but it really felt like they had no answers for Inter on either side of the pitch. It was a modest game that saw opportunities going both ways, so it'll go into the C tier for now. The next game of the day saw the marquee matchup between Bayern Munich and Chelsea in the south of Germany, which ended in a 3-1 victory for the home side. The first 3 goals in this match came in the space of 9 minutes, and with Chaloba's own goal, Kane's successful penalty, and Palmer's run down the length of the pitch, the match went into halftime at 2-1 for Bayern. A defensive blunder by Chelsea eventually led to Harry Kane's second goal of the night in the 63rd minute, and with Cole Palmer's attempt in the 88th minute being ruled out by VAR, the match ended as a 3-1 victory for the home side. Chelsea didn't really produce any moments of magic in this game, and if it wasn't for some goalkeeping heroics from Robert Sanchez, the scoreline could have been even worse for them. The German side put on an entertaining display of their footballing abilities, as this match goes into the A tier today. The next game on the list was played out between Liverpool and Atletico Madrid in northern England, and this back and forth match eventually ended in a 3-2 victory for the Reds. The home side got off to a blistering start with 2 great goals from Andy Robertson and Mo Salah in the 4th and 6th minute, leading Liverpool to an early 2-0 lead. The Spanish visitors were able to pull one back just before halftime, and with Marcus Llorente's right-footed shot finding the bottom left corner, the match went into halftime at 2-1 for Liverpool. The Spanish right back wasn't done scoring just yet, and with a gorgeous volley that smashed into the back of the net in the 81st minute, the match was now level at 2-2. At this point in the game, everyone can sense that a last-minute winner was on the cards, but who would ultimately score that decisive goal was anybody's guess. With Virgil van Dijk's powerful header into the bottom right corner, his stoppage time goal would be enough to see off this match, as Liverpool came away with a dramatic 3-2 victory. This match had 2 early goals, a comeback from the away side, and a dramatic winner with just seconds seconds left to go, which were the perfect ingredients for a truly memorable match. Anfield got to witness yet another legendary match within its grounds, as this game goes into the S tier today. The final match of Wednesday night saw PSG taking on Atalanta in Paris, with the reigning title holders starting their campaign with a dominant 4-0 victory. The French side were in complete control in the first half, with a tap-in goal from Marquinhos in the 3rd minute and a beautiful run and finish from Kvaratskhelia in the 39th minute, taking them into the break with a 2-0 lead. The second half started with a delightful goal from Nuno Mendes in the 51st minute, and with one last goal from Gonçalo Ramos in stoppage time, the match ended as a 4-0 win for PSG. The home side took absolute control of this match right from kickoff, and it felt like PSG were suffocating Atalanta both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. A 4-goal game that was entirely dominated by one team, this match can only crack the B tier today. The first game that took place on Thursday evening saw Club Brugge and AS Monaco going head-to-head in Bruges, with the home side dominating and coming away with a 4-1 victory. The home side got off to a very dominant start, and with 3 goals coming from Tresoldi, Onyedika, and Vanaken in the space of 11 minutes, Club Brugge went into halftime with a commanding 3-0 lead. The second half saw slightly more momentum going the way of the visitors, but with one more goal from Diakon in the 75th minute and a consolation goal for Ansu Fati in stoppage time, the match ended as a 4-1 victory for the home side. Club Brugge were quite impressive in this match with their offensive abilities, while Monaco looked disorganized and out of rhythm at times. With plenty of chances for the home side and some scarce opportunities for the visitors, this match goes into the B tier for now. The next game of the day was played out between Copehagen and Leverkusen in the Danish capital, but nothing could separate the two sides as the match ended in a 2-2 draw. The home side took the lead after some sloppy defending from Leverkusen, and with Jordan Larsson's goal coming in the 9th minute, the match went into halftime at 1-0 for Copehagen. There wasn't a whole lot going on in the first 35 minutes of the second half, but the final 15 minutes of this game were filled with chances for both teams. Grimaldo opened the scoring for Leverkusen with an inch-perfect free kick in the 82nd minute, followed by Robert's clinical header in the 87th minute to give Copehagen a 2-1 lead with just minutes left to go. Leverkusen got their equalizer in the 92nd minute after Pantelis Hatzidiakos scored an unfortunate own goal, and with Copehagen fumbling the final chance of the game, this match ended in a thrilling 2-2 draw. This game was really starting to look like a stinker at the 80th minute mark, but with a crazy final 15 minutes that saw 3 goals, it definitely saved itself from a pretty shocking ending. Copehagen and Leverkusen share the spoils in their first match, as this game goes into the B tier for now. Moving on to the next game of the day between Eintracht Frankfurt and Galatasaray in Western Germany, Frankfurt had very few problems in this match as they cruised their way to a 5-1 victory. The Turkish visitors got off to a dream start, with Yunus Akgün finishing off a beautiful counterattack for the away side, giving Galatasaray an early 1-0 lead in the 8th minute. It took 30 minutes for Frankfurt to respond, but with an own goal from Sanchez, a blistering strike from Uzun, and a great set-piece finish from Burkhardt, the halftime scoreline was now 3-1 for the home side. 2 more goals from Burkhardt and Nauf in the 66th and 75th minute were enough to secure the win, as Frankfurt dominated their Turkish counterparts on their way to a 5-1 victory. I had really high hopes for Galatasaray in this match, and I thought they could even squeeze out a win, but this was a really shocking performance on their part. This match was truly a goal fest, but because it was so one-sided, it can only crack the B tier today. The next game of the day was the highly anticipated match between Manchester City and Napoli, and Kevin De Bruyne's return to the Etihad ended in a 2-0 win for his former club. Pep Guardiola's side were utterly dominant in the first 45 minutes, but even with Napoli's captain Giovanni Di Lorenzo being sent off in the 21st minute, the match was stuck in a 0-0 deadlock going into the break. With Erling Haaland's 50th Champions League goal coming in the 56th minute, followed by Jeremy Doku's beautiful run and finish in the 65th minute, Manchester City faced little resistance en route to a 2-0 win. I think a lot of people were expecting more from the reigning Italian champions, but they looked really out of it following their captain's dismissal. It was such a one-sided match that struggled to keep me entertained, as it finds itself in the D tier today. The marquee matchup of the day saw Newcastle United and Barcelona face off in Newcastle, with the Spanish visitors grabbing a 2-1 victory on the road. The first 45 minutes of this game were absolutely electric, but even with both teams trading great scoring chances on both ends of the pitch, neither side were able to break the 0-0 deadlock before the halftime whistle. Marcus Rashford went on to score his first goal for Barcelona with a stunning header in the 58th minute, and with his second goal coming from a blistering strike in the 67th minute, Barcelona were now leading by 2-0. Anthony Gordon did manage to pull one back for the home side in the 90th minute, but with no time left on the clock, the Spanish visitors held on for a thrilling 2-1 victory. This match was full of solid scoring chances going both ways, and with an electric atmosphere in the stands, it truly lived up to its pre-match hype. It was an end-to-end battle from the first whistle to the last, and this match goes into the A tier today. And the final game of Matchday 1 in the 2025-26 Champions League season saw Sporting CP going up against debutants Carat Almaty, with the Portuguese side coming away with a commanding 4-1 victory. Sporting had a penalty kick saved in the 21st minute, but with Trincao scoring a gorgeous attempt from outside the box in the 44th minute, the home side had a 1-0 lead going into the break. Sporting then went on to score 3 goals in the space of 4 minutes, and with Trincao, Santos, and Quenda adding their names to the score sheet, the score was now 4-0 with just 20 minutes left to go. The Kazakh side did score a consolation goal in the 86th minute, and with Edmilson Filio's volley becoming Kairat's first goal in Champions League history, the match ended as a 4-1 victory for the home side. Kairat really tried to contain the Portuguese offensive, and even though they were successful for 64 minutes, the floodgates were about to open eventually. It was an entertaining match from start to finish, as it goes into the B tier for now. So there you have it, we've ranked all 18 games from Matchday 1 of the 2025-26 Champions League season. Some teams are off to a hot start, and some sides have a lot to work on before Matchday 2, but we truly got to witness one of the best opening match days in recent years. We were treated to some truly incredible games over the last 3 days, and the tone has been set for the rest of the league phase moving forward. But what did you think of the first 18 games from Matchday 1 of the 2025-26 Champions League season? Are there any matches on this ranking that are too high, too low, or should be moved altogether? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more football content, tier lists, and everything in between, and as always, I'll catch you next time.